So Kurt Benker did a really cool video the other day where he broke down how to run four verticals in Madden. If you don't know who Kurt Benker is, former NFL QB, was the backup to Aaron Rodgers for a while, played practice squad for the Niners and for the Falcons. Guy knows his stuff. He played quarterback in the NFL, and I thought that was really, really cool. And I said, okay, what if I do something similar where I leverage my competitive background and break down one of the best Madden plays in history? And that's what we're doing today. Gun bunch offset verts halfback under. Now, gun bunch has a bunch of different verticals calls from different gun bunch variations, but essentially they all pretty much look like this one right here that you see in the middle of your screen right now. And even if you don't run gun bunch, we're gonna break down what every single coverage does against this, and it applies to a lot of different stuff. And we're talking about where your reads should be and just how to adjust to what a defense might be doing and to beat specific coverages. So let's get into it, boys. We are going to go through literally every coverage here. You see we have concepts, cover man blitz, cover two man, cover three, cover four, cover one, cover two, cover six, yada, 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 yada. I'm actually going to start with some of the zone stuff, and then we'll work into some man coverage. We'll explain why later. Let me know what if you guys like this video, and we can do more stuff like this for other popular plays. Because again, verts, this play right here, and variations of it are going to be good every single Madden. And to give you a very brief understanding of why, it really becomes simple. When you are passing in Madden, you are typically either running a route combo that's going to attack vertically or attack horizontally, okay? And so what do I mean by that? If we call, like this play right here, mesh flat spot, we're attacking pretty vertical where we probably streak that point wide receiver and just make a flood concept, right? That's attacking the vertical right side of the field. In this case, we have numerous routes that are immediately attacking horizontally, right? Our tight end and our outside wide receiver on the right both have outside breaking stems. The first steps they're taking is outside, and they're going horizontal. But then every wide receiver here eventually at some point breaks vertical, so we have the option to hit them early horizontally or a little bit later in the vertical parts of the field. We also have the option here to do a lot of cool stuff with our halfback. Now, we can leave him on this little speed in that we call it here. Or I like to streak him, essentially making it a 5 verticals play, or wheel him, or you can put him on an out route or put him on an in route. Some of the plays don't have that stock speed in, so you might have to manually put him on an in route. You also put him on a curl, a bunch of different things you could do here. This play attacks essentially across the field super, super well. And as we're going against cover 3 right here, what I love for this play, I'm going to end up streaking my halfback here because I think that's the best way to do it, is we're just going to make reads across the middle of the field and across the initial part of the play as well. So right there, I kind of hit our crosser in the seam. But if we actually go to something like this, watch what we're able to do to our B wide receiver. If they don't respect the flat, we're taking a play essentially 4 verticals and turning it into a flat hitter. We're able to hit that flat immediately. But then if we wait on B, and against cover 3, B won't be open late. But watch right here, we're able to hit this guy in the seam. Now, I didn't have a very good pass lead. Freeforming is very, very big in all the passing. I suggest you learn how to freeform. We have full guides over on Civil GG how to do that. But again, now they're not respecting the flat, and we're able to hit that flat. This play is going to push the sidelines very, very, very effectively, especially if we wanted to attack the left sideline. We could out the halfback to the left. We had B. We're going to throw him a little bit late. Should have thrown him earlier. And with a cover 3, I actually love running cover 3 and making minor adjustments around it. The biggest things you've got to be looking for a cover 3 is, it's interesting because it's my favorite defense, but it's also my favorite defense to attack, where we have a lot of the middle of the field to attack here. They only typically have 2 hook curls in the middle. One of them would probably be their user. But we also have a lot of sideline to attack here too, where they only have 1 flat defender. It's kind of a defense that covers everything, and because it does cover the entirety of the field, it leaves openings across the entirety of the field too, right? That's just how cover 3 is. Now, something that we could take big advantage of is attacking the seams in a cover 3. So right here, we're able to do that. Godare is able to hold on to that. Notice I'm not using Pass Elite. All of these passes get a little bit better if you are using Pass Elite. And if we look at something right here, you'll actually see RB or Y is going to be open in the left seam. Cover 3 is very, very vulnerable in the seams until the defense starts really adjusting to it, right? So if we go here again, we had B immediately. I'm not going to throw them because I know if they're in a cover 3, I'm going to be able to hit that right seam or either seam. That's really, dude, whenever you see cover 3, you got to be looking for the seams, right? Even in this situation, I think this is actually going to be a little bit of a weird cover 3. But right here, we have that left seam we could potentially throw. Actually, kind of bad example. But the seams, even early, you have the ability to do that. I do. Jeez, that was a not a great look. We could go RB here again. Boom. And that's just putting the defense in just weird situations over the middle where they can't do a ton, right? The seams in the middle of the field for cover 3 are going to be open consistently, especially when you're attacking at different depths. Let's watch what happens when I leave Y on this kind of speed in. And watch. Look, if they follow A up at all, we're going to get underneath him. If they were to come down on the hook, or I'm sorry, if they were to come down on the running back right here, I'd be able to throw A. Watch the relationship that my running back does right here. We're underneath. We could throw underneath. Now we want to throw it a little bit earlier, but we can throw underneath. And if they defend the underneath, we have just above him. Okay? We're going to go here again. We have Y early. We can throw that right there. And because they actually attacked pretty hard down on Y, I could have hit RB above them. So we're able to just put them in a lot of different conflicts that they can't do a ton about. Right there, he came down hard on my running back, where the running back wasn't open super early, and we're able to hit RB above him. Right here, yep, he comes down on the running back. Notice how the running back's getting taken away consistently here. We're able to attack above him. Now, if they were to drop that guy back further and take away the crosser, well, then we'd have the ability to hit our halfback in this area. Okay? So that's kind of a breakdown cover 3 where if you get good in running cover 3, you could take away pretty much everything. But you got to adjust a little bit. And if you're played against cover 3, know that you are going to be able to get routes open. Okay? Especially vertical type plays where you're stretching the field vertically. Now, if we go to cover 2, I believe that's what's next up. Let's see. Oh, no, actually, next up is going to be cover 4. Cool. That's all at cover 4. And this is just a drop zone cover 4. Now, the issue with cover 4 is, well, the nice thing with cover 4 is it's going to defend the seams a little bit better. Cover 3 has one deep middle defender. So that guy in the deep middle is defending essentially the entire middle. Makes sense. Cover 4 has 2 people defending the deep middle. Means they get to split the middle of the field into 2 little tiny halves, into quarters, because you have guys outside them, letting them protect the seams a little bit better. What's the issue with that? Well, you lose an interior middle of the field defender, right? And we can kind of see this here, where you see how that guy actually comes down harder to defend that seam than we've really seen so far. But early on, we are going to be able to pick them apart in the middle of the field, in the kind of the short middle. Against cover 3, we love to attack a little bit more of the deeper seams. Against cover 4, we're going to be able to pick them apart underneath just a little bit more. Wow, my tight end got super bumped right there. We're able to hit that. And we still have the option to throw B on this little flat breaking route if they're not hard flatting. Right there looks like more of a hard flat. So we have our tight end. He got super bumped right there. But you can kind of see how it's going to be tough for them to defend just the entire middle of the field. They just don't have the resources to. Imagine on this play. Let's go into instant replay for a second. And this is genuinely a very important thing because so many people overlook this. Look, right? This guy's defending this crosser, okay? So I throw a tight end. You say, Civil, what if the tight end gets defended? Who could defend the tight end here? If this guy goes to defend the tight end, therefore we have him open. If this guy goes to defend the tight end, therefore we have the crosser open. If this guy goes to defend the tight end, we have the halfback open. You see what I'm saying? And because these are so well spaced out, look at the spacing here between these 3 kind of intermediate attacking routes. A user can't defend all 3 of these. You could get baited, but if you get baited, it's more of a bad read on your part than it is no one was open, right? And again, we look at A. A is open. They can't do anything about this when they're running cover 4. It's very tough to make the adjustments around it to make cover 4 able to stop this, right? It just is. Again, right here, we have A again. I'm not going to throw it. But you do see how there was a pocket against cover 3 that we were able to throw the crosser late that we can't. If we're going to hit this crosser, we have to hit him early. Against cover 3, we're going to hit him kind of late. Here, we got to hit him a little bit earlier, or else we won't be able to hit him because the deep quarter is going to do a better job. Right here, boom. And we have to be really intentional about getting that ball down, or else that deep quarter, they just play the seam significantly better, right? They're just going to. Let's go here again. Have A. Pretty straightforward. And that's just because how many routes we have attacking the middle of the field on this play? We have 3 routes attacking the middle of the field, right? It doesn't matter what we do with our halfback. He's attacking the middle of the field. So we have tight end, point wide receiver, halfback. All of them are attacking the middle. Cover 4, we just do basic math. Cover 4 means they have 4 people defending deep, okay? That's 4 of their 11. They have 2 flat defenders. They have to. So that's 6. Okay, so where are the other 5? Oh, are they rushing 3? Okay, so that's 3. So that's 4 plus 2 plus 3. Geez, math is hard. 9. So they have 2 more defenders to use in the middle of the field. Well, you have 2 more defenders to use in the middle of the field. We have 3 routes attacking the middle of the field. As long as they have good spacing on them, which this play does, they can't defend it. They have to start doing some crazy adjustments, and other things are going to get left open. Okay? Very, very, very simple. Now, if we go to something like cover, what's up next? Because I have something I really want to talk about. Ooh, we're going to actually jump to, let's go to cover 2. Let's immediately just go over to cover 2. This is where things get interesting with this type of play. Why? Because cover 2, we go from cover 4 having 4 people deep. Cover 2 has 2 people deep. And I know a lot of people, some of my football guys are going to say, like, Tampa 2, the middle backer will drop into the deep middle and carry deep. They don't do that in Madden. The mid-read in Madden, the Tampa 2 defender, he does not carry the vertical threat very well in the deep middle, so he's more of just an underneath hook zone. They just do a really bad job of him for the most part. This is actually going to do a pretty good job against this play. Why? Because there's going to be 3 people defending the middle here. And you can actually see they do a pretty good job. To be able to beat this, we had to wait super long for the crosser on the sideline, which is not going to be a consistent thing. We're going to get shedded. We're going to have other bad things happen here, right? So you might be saying, oh, this is a pretty good way. Right here, that's a tough way to make a living. You could throw that early, maybe, cool. But you see, they're going to defend the middle of the field pretty well here, right? We tried throwing over here this time. Actually gets picked. Dang, Civil, cover 2 looks like the answer for this. Yeah, cover 2 does a pretty good job. But what I'll say here, and this is actually more of a inverted cover 2, so that's not even a great example. The ways you beat cover 2, you could dink and dot your way underneath. And that's what a lot of cover 2 people want you to do. But you're going to make one of the harder throws in football, which is attacking the deep sideline. That's really where we want to attack. And right there, we actually end up throwing a pick like an idiot. But if you can find ways to attack the deep sidelines in cover 2, which typically consists of, honestly, getting out of some of these plays that attack the middle of the field and going for like corner route concepts, right? Because who's defending the deep sideline in cover 2? There's no deep sideline defender. There's a deep half, but there's only 2 people, so he's defending half. So, getting out of 4 verticals for a second, one of the best ways to beat cover 2 is just run a corner route over there. Because now we have the flat right here in this instance, but we also have the corner route. Beating cover 2, attack the deep sidelines. And if they start defending that, that means they're not running a standard cover 2 or cover 2 at all. One of the cool ways to do it out of gun bunch verticals to attack that deep sideline, we can do this. We have to have a little bit of patience. Not the best way in the world to do it, but watch B right here. Cover 2, cover 2, cover 2. Well, he's on that vertical route. That route attacks the sideline a little bit late, but he does attack that sideline, right? Let's go here again. Basic cover 2. I could go maybe A right here, but we're going to wait. Boom. And you're able to throw that deep sideline. This is a heck of a ball, but if you get good, you can recognize, oh, cover 2, I'm going to have him late. There we go. And again, this is not taking into account like if people are blitzing out of different sets, so keep in mind that that could change things. And mind you, you could find this is a good enough play to where, you know, routes over the middle of the field can be open, especially if the linebackers are playing at kind of poor depths. Right here, you know, we can throw Y early. So it's not like this play can't be cover 2, but it just makes sense, right? This play really does attack the middle of the field pretty well. Cover 2 is going to defend the middle of the field pretty well. But then we're able to attack the deep sideline. That essentially is replacing a corner route, right? It's almost like, I don't want to call it a corner route built into the play, but it is essentially replacing a corner route. And the reason I went to him to the short side there, you saw me switching hash marks, is just because I want him to get up the field and to as close to the sideline as possible. Because the closer you are to the sideline, the further you're going to be away from that deep half making a play, right? If we go to the same play right here, wait for B this time. Notice how he takes way longer to get open. I think he would have gotten played, actually. There are times where this fade on the left side could be thrown. Let's see if we can actually get an example right here. Where, again, look where he's catching that ball. Deep sideline. It's a very hard throw in the NFL, and it's a hard throw in Madden, too. They're running kind of inverted stuff right now, so it's not the best looks. But you get the idea where you can actually fit that ball in a lot against the cover 2 type looks. We'll go again. Cover 2. He gets, there we go, outside. That's a high ball freeform up and out. Very tough thing to do. I highly suggest you want to get better at a lot of the fundamentals of Madden, and you want like full schemes and stuff like that. My website is the real deal for all of that stuff. It genuinely is. I've helped thousands of Madden players get better at the game with actual real results. So if you want to get better at it, website linked to top description. But I mean, that's just a little breakdown of cover 2 right there. Again, notice where I'm hitting this crosser. Deep sideline. Where do you attack cover 2? Deep sideline. So let's move on to the next coverage that we'll really see in Madden, which we've went over all the kind of the zone coverages and stuff like that. But now we got to get into man. And I'm going to start. So I guess real fast, let's go over kind of the blitzing stuff of how to beat some of the zone blitzes. And so we'll just go into a cover 2 style blitz. I love verticals against beating zone blitzes because if they send a blitz essentially in Madden, it's going to be sending 5 people or more. And if they do that, they just don't have the resources to defend everything here. And we can pretty much see that. Like, if they blitz you, they don't have the resource to defend everything in zone. There's no way for them to. They're literally, like... And against CPU, that seam's going to be open a lot. That won't always be the case against actual defenders because they'll adjust to it. But you can also see how valuable seam routes are. Boom. Boom. That was actually kind of a weird blitz where my guys felt like they got kind of bumped. This is pretty simple. You're really just looking for, you know, this little triangle in the middle of the field with our running back, our tight end, and our point wide receiver. You know, boom, we have that tight end again. I'm actually going to go here. The vertical hook depths, they fell down on the halfback, so we're able to hit the crosser above him. Go back to this again. Boom. We have tight end. I'm not going to throw him. I'll go crosser again. You kind of can see where that crosser can be thrown if they are not respecting the middle of the field. That's kind of the same idea against cover 3, right? They send another blitz. We have the tight end. I'll push him outside right there. Boom. And if they start going overly in the middle of the field and they're still sending a zone blitz, that means you probably have the option to hit this guy early. Right there, we did not. We did not. But you guys get the idea. If they're adjusting people to defend the middle of the field now, well, that means we probably have the ability to hit that flat part of the wheel, quote unquote, right? Now, a big thing against the zone blitzes, or against blitzes in general, is that you got to be willing to make the quick read. If you panic, a really good thing to do if you panic or like, oh my gosh, surprise blitz, I don't know who's open, throw the ball away. Click the right stick in. Nothing wrong with that. Throw the ball away or take a sack. What you can't be doing is, oh my gosh, blitz. Oh shoot, now no one's open. No, 20-yard sack, you lose the game. Like, your drive's over. You're done. All right, that pretty much, regardless of cover 2 or cover 3 blitz, I'm not going to pretend like there's a huge difference between them in terms of how you're going to attack them for the most part. A lot of people, I'm very big on keeping things stupid simple. A lot of people try to make things way too complicated. And once you get some of these basics down, you can understand it. I'm not a smart guy, so if I can understand this stuff, I promise you can. It just takes a lot of reps and stuff like that. It can. When we go into the man coverage type of part of things, I will say I don't love these vertical plays for beating man coverage, and the reason being, of course, we get goal line immediately. But the reason being is that when I play against man coverage, I really want routes that have cuts in them. And what I mean by that is, like, let's take like this point wide receiver, for example. There's no like cut in his route. Whereas if we look at a slant, clear cut right there, right? Well, if we look at this route right here, there's no cut. So it's harder for him to beat man coverage consistently. And like, you can get a step like that and it can work. I don't love it though. I don't love it. I love routes that have kind of cuts in them or that are like drags from the tight end, you know, a little speed in from the halfback here. Boom. Something that has some sort of cut on it, some kind of like quick release so you get some flat line running afterwards. That's really what I love because there's just not many man beating routes here. You can use this to beat man coverage. It's just not going to be amazing against it, and it wouldn't be my first thing I'd do. A big thing I will end up doing, though, against man coverage if I want to run verticals is to put this guy on a post. I only have a slant right now, but you can put him on a post, and then your halfback you could put on a angle route, which I also don't have, but it's one of my favorite things to do, and it's going to be a good way of... you kind of see how much better that slant gets open, and the same thing a post would do against man coverage because they have that kind of break in the route. That's a huge, huge, huge deal against man. Halfback option routes are really good too. And notice this wheel, right? The wheel's not going to be a great play against man coverage. There's potential for it to be a one-play touchdown, but it's pretty unlikely. And so I don't want to sit here and pretend that it's great against man. You know, some Maddens, it'll be better than others just because of the coding in the man coverage. But this one, it's not great in. And it's something to kind of just keep in mind. They're running a lot of man on you right there, geez. It's just not incredible. I do like the route of the underneath halfback in route. So if we go here, boom, you see how he kind of cuts? Again, that's a route that cuts, so he's going to be able to change direction and beat his man coverage. So that is a overall breakdown of the play, gun budget verticals. If you guys enjoyed this style thing, let me know. I'd love to add this into my content. It really just depends how you guys enjoy. If you want full schemes, full plays, full building blocks of the fundamentals of Madden, I highly suggest you check out Civil.gg. I don't bullshit. I don't bullshit here. I don't bullshit there. I don't bullshit with you guys. My time's valuable. Your time's valuable. I've played this game for tens of thousands of hours, and I've won tens of thousands of dollars playing against the best Madden players in the world. I've labbed with them. I have taught them. They have taught me. And I like teaching you guys. So consider that. And subscribe if you haven't already. Just hit 16K. Next up, 17K. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one.